What's up, y'all? This your boy J7 holding it down for ONZMTL, and we're back on the sit down. And today's guest is a very special guest. Some would call him even a legend in Montreal. He's seen it all out here, from janky promoters to the biggest businessmen, from artists starting out in the game to worldwide superstars, from the biggest failures to the biggest wins this city has ever seen. We're talking about promoter extraordinaire, Rickey D in the building. What up, Rickey?
What's going on, my brother? Thank you for having me here, man.
Pleasure, bro. Pleasure for you to have here. Pleasure to have you here. I mean, first, thank you for the contributions. You've been putting it down for like over 30 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's my 2020 is my 35th year in hip hop.
Wow. Like, how does it feel to be in the game for that long and still be standing in 2020 to talk about it?
Well, I'm getting a little tired. My game is slowing down a bit. But, I still love hip hop. I still love what it means to me and to everybody out there. And, I'm just trying to, how could I say, make sure that hip hop does right by its people.
No doubt. What do you mean by does right by its people?
Just making sure that, the culture, the music, the vibe doesn't get overly commercial to the point that we lose the essence of hip hop.
Okay, yeah.
Like you've seen with rock, like you've seen with pop, like you've seen with EDM, and so forth, right? Hip hop has always been a very, it's been a very personal music to people. For rappers who sit up there and write their own lyrics, even though some of them have ghostwriters, but that's a different level of the game. But it's something that's personal.
Do you feel that when you started out, did you feel that this would be a career, this would be something that you'd be doing for this long?
Nah, I was doing it more, to just be involved in something. My best friend was a DJ, and before I got involved in producing shows, and he didn't want to hand out flyers or do anything like that. So I took up that. I couldn't sing, I couldn't rap, I couldn't dance, but I love the culture. So I decided I was going to go more on the business side of things.
That's what I was actually going to ask you, because a lot of people actually start off like in front of the camera, like either singing or dancing or whatever. You never had any other role besides behind the scenes.
Yeah, I was always, I understood very early that, I'm not going to embarrass myself and start doing stupid things when I knew I didn't have the skill set to hang with it.
No doubt. And did you start by doing parties from what I know?
Yeah, I started doing parties. He was a DJ. I used to hand out flyers. I was one of the first guys to start to go to all the movies, all the hip hop movies. I used to go to all the urban movies back then, like Break 84 with I can't even remember the names of those.
You're going back in time right now.
And I started going there. I started going to the Cegeps, handing out flyers, going to the university parties, handing out flyers there, going to the nightclubs, handing out flyers at 3 o'clock in the morning. Just, building my name, building my reputation, and being that guy.
And when you started doing the parties, if I'm not mistaken, Shahid was with you, Malik Shahid, right?
Nah, he wasn't with me back then. He's a lot younger than me.
Okay,
I took him on later on into my career when I used to have another partner. He was where's Gilbert from? He's from Africa, but
okay, because I was always under the impression that he started with you, Malik.
No, he actually started with somebody else. Guy named Romero actually introduced them, and then I got to a point where one of my partners decided he didn't want to live in Montreal anymore. Found it very tough. He was an Anglophone from Nigeria. He was Nigerian, actually Tanzanian, and he decided he was going to go to Toronto and start up there. So I was looking for somebody younger than me that I knew that can help me to do what I do, promote parties. And so I approached him, and I asked him if he'd want to, do events with me. And he was like, "Sure, let's do this." And that's how the Rickey D and Shahid thing came about.
Yeah, okay, exactly.
But before that, I used to be with a guy named Gilbert, And before that, I used to be with a promotion company called Fritz and Favian.
Damn, okay, you've been around. You've
Yeah,
been around
man,
the city.
It was, yeah. And then in about 85, 86, a legendary hip hop producer who gave me my first break in the game was Gary T.
Gary T, Montreal legend.
Yeah, and he approached me and asked me, do you want to do this? Right? And I was like, well, hell yeah, why not? If I could fill a room with people to party, I'm definitely could fill a room with an artist.
Yeah, for real.
But I told him, I said, I got no money though. Because back then I was making shitty money. I was getting pimped off real hard by the party side of things. Right?
Okay.
So he said, don't worry about the money. Just come in, do what you do, go out there and grind it. I'll take care of the finances.
Okay.
So I was like, cool. So then I started doing my thing. And then one of the first events we did together was Run DMC in about 86.
Wow.
And we brought him to Le Cinq, which is back then was called 1234 nightclub.
Yeah. Well, this is before it was 1234.
It was 1230. It started as 1234. Before that was a funeral home.
Oh, okay. So
I went upstairs in some of the rooms and saw the embalming equipment.
Damn.
That's how crazy that place was.
So Run DMC was at that venue in Montreal.
Yeah. So back then you just had pagers, right? So once they left New York, I didn't know where they were.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's not like now you can pick up the phone. Where are you? Where are you?
Yeah,
Where are
exactly.
you? Nah. Once they left New York, there was a snowstorm. They were coming up into Canada. We weren't sure they were going to make it. About 12:30, they arrived.
Wow.
In the middle of the snowstorm. It wasn't well attended because of the snowstorm, but they performed.
They still rock the house?
Yeah, they did their thing, man. They were hot back then.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we did that, and then that was one of my earliest shows.
That's how you got in it. Let me ask you, what would you give as an advice to anybody trying to do what Rickey D does as far as like organizing shows and stuff like that?
You have to realize it's show business. Mm-hmm. And without the show, there's no business. And without the business, there's no show.
Bars.
So you got to realize if it's a perfect marriage, then both win. The show side wins and the business side wins.
So you got to balance both.
You got to balance. Sometimes you have shows where the business side is really good. The place is sold out, made a lot of money, but the performance is shitty. The time was cut.
Yeah,
it wasn't a good one. The artists and the acts that were there didn't deliver. So that's a bad situation. Then you got the other side where the show was amazing, right? But there was nobody in the room. So the business side suffered.
Yeah.
But one coexists with the other.
I get it.
So that's if you can toughen that out and understand what you need to do, then yeah, why not?
So if I was to ask you, out of all these years, what was the best booking or best event that Rickey D threw?
Oh man, there's so many of them.
But like if I had one like that would be your personal favorite or something. Could you name one off the top of your head?
Nah, not really. I got a few of them. A few of them were, oh man, I've done everything from like Gangstar to Nas to The Roots. They're one of my favorites.
Yeah, I heard they did some.
Hill,
wow, okay.
To Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince.
Oh man.
Ice Cube. I did Cop Killer with Ice-T. I did Big Daddy Kane, Chop Rock, Public Enemy.
A lot of people gonna hit Google after this.
Yo, the Fugees, Lauryn Hill, Goody Mob.
Fugees, was it at the Bell Center?
No, I did that show too.
The one with Cypress Hill,
that was me.
Fugees, and Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, me, Gary T, Front Row, Donald K. Donald.
I remember being there as a kid, man. That was legendary.
That was the biggest hip hop show up until about 2000, when I was involved in the Hard Knock Life tour with Jay-Z and DMX and Method Man, Redman.
Wow, those are some legendary events right there. If I was to ask you, was there a worst one? One that like just things went left or things didn't go right, or
the worst one was last year was what's that guy's name, man? From Toronto.
Tory Lanez?
No, he was good. It's Pressa.
Oh, Pressa. Okay, yeah.
That was a terrible one.
Really? For what reason?
Well, first of all, I wasn't here. I was in Paris.
Okay.
Doing some deals down there with some French artists and everything.
Okay.
Which a lot of people didn't know I had a history with French rap artists going back into the 90s.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah, I did a few of those guys back then. And what happened is that somebody got shot dead.
Never a good look for any event that you throw.
That's hip hop, though.
Yeah, those are the kind of things that happen.
People think that this game is easy, right? Hip hop now is called hip pop.
Okay. Oh,
it's pop.
Definitely.
But they forget that hip hop is a music of those who have been oppressed, of those who are angry with the system.
Facts.
So now when you try to sit up there and bubblegum it and do all of that, it could come back at any time and rip your head off. You know what I mean? It might be cool most of the time, but
yeah, you still gotta be careful out there.
Yeah, you gotta be on your P's and Q's if you're not.
What's the biggest challenge Rickey D has faced through the years in his business?
Oh man, it's one of the biggest challenges. Finding the right financing. The business has always been very good to me.
Okay.
It's just now that it's not being as good as it used to be.
Okay.
Because the game has evolved. And what does that mean by that? One time, the Venkos and a lot of these French guys wouldn't touch hip hop. It was too volatile.
Yeah.
Too black, too strong. They didn't want that. It was too aggressive for them.
Yeah.
So they rather just, mess with their EDM. They rather mess with the other forms
Easy
of
to
music.
digest.
Right, the indie rock, all of that. But now that hip hop has become the number one genre of music to the average kid, right?
Yeah.
They're all in it now.
It's actually funny you talk about that because I was going to bring that up, but I might as well bring it up right now. Seeing that when you started, it was exactly that. It was almost taboo. It was underground. And today, that's why we salute you, because you were the ones really paving the way, right?
No doubt.
And today, when we see that it's become so mainstream, so popular, a lot of people put their hands to get a piece of the pie. Everybody wants to get a piece of the pie, and sometimes it's not necessarily somebody who is of the culture, as Rickey D would be. You know what I mean? So how do you feel about that?
I'm actually upset about that.
Really?
I envision myself like a T.I.
Okay.
Right? And if you know T.I. and you know what T.I. is about in the U.S., he sees himself as an activist, an advocate for hip-hop. He just doesn't let just anybody just rolling in and try to get, even big boys like the Live Nation, even when Live Nation and AEG and all these boys want to get involved in it, they have to pay respect to the gods.
No doubt.
Right? And they have to make sure the gods are taken care of. That's the difference between there, where hip hop originated, and here. Here they don't show that. They don't show the respect to the guys who put the sweat equity into the game to make it to the point where they could come in there and say thank you.
Well, that's it. That's why I use the words pave the way, because you literally, before you, there probably was the Gary T's or whatnot.
Absolutely. But there was guys that I grew up with that were crazy into this, that were my role models.
But let's be real. Today, in 2020, people are going to look at the Rickey D name. Like, you've been there, you stood the test of time. And for you to say this, I think is really important, because the masses, it's very easy to confuse them. You know what I mean? Because
let me tell you how it works here.
Okay.
If you don't walk like them, if you don't talk like them, then you are not them. You dig?
I dig it.
Okay. So if you understand that, then you understand what hip hop's about. It's like playing basketball, or even if you're into, say, soccer, and nobody wants to pass you the ball, because you know why? Because you could put the ball in the net.
100%.
And if they give it to you, then that means you got to put out all day, every day. You're not given the same situation as them. You see what I mean? So most of the time they don't give it to you. If you go and you walk down at some of these, places, you see some of these production houses, and you go and you stand at that corner and you watch who comes out of those doors. And that's going to be the end of my conversation.
Oh, man, that was interesting, man. I want to hear the rest.
No, but you know what I mean? But you see what the rest is. You go to that corner and you wait till they have lunch or they're finished work at the day and see who comes out of that door. Now you're going to understand. See, in America, it's about, can we break bread?
Yeah, a lot of things that happen.
You go to Europe, you go to France.
Yeah.
Can we break bread?
Yeah.
It's not about, well, is my last name Tremblay? Do I talk like you? Do I act like you? It's about, can we make some money?
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
If you can bring me something to the table, why wouldn't I not want to fuck with you?
100%.
But in this city, it don't work like that.
Well, I also feel like there isn't, you see the way you started the interview, you're talking about the culture and the respect for the culture. And I feel like a lot of these new jacks or people that we're talking about might not be of the culture the same way you are. You know what I'm saying?
They don't have to live and breathe it. Everybody's allowed to grow a certain way in the culture. But
there still has to be that respect, you know what I mean? That you see the same way you talk about T.I., he values hip hop. That's why he puts himself in that position to kind of preserve it, right?
But he's also a bigger player in the game to the point that when he talks, people listen. And then you'll find the Russell Simmons and all these other cats who will step in.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt.
When you invested into this business, right? We supposed to be, the guys like me, we're supposed to be the VPs.
Absolutely.
The directors.
Absolutely.
Right? But that's not happening. Why is that not happening?
Maybe because your last name is not.
Maybe, right? Maybe. I'm just saying.
That's a theory we're throwing out there. It's a theory.
Oh, yeah. It's a theory. But there's a lot of evidence to show otherwise. The bottom line is that the reason why I do what I do is because I love it.
No doubt. And that's why we got you here.
And I continue to love it.
No doubt.
Irregardless if somebody's going to put me on or not.
You're still going to do your thing.
I still do my thing.
But that's hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
It, right? So, I just want to make sure that if anybody's going to go and put their hand in the cookie jar, I want to see what they're pulling out.
At least, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
No doubt. I respect that.
So when you see some of these so-called festivals that are coming on now, and you see that these people never liked hip-hop, never appreciated it, never wanted to mess with it because they were into EDM, they were into all this other stuff. Did you ever hear Rickey D doing an EDM show?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Just because EDM was popular back then didn't mean that I was going to be
jump
a whore,
on the boat, yeah.
Right? And I was going to go whore myself in the music that I don't appreciate, right?
No doubt.
I stuck in my lane, and I did what I had to do because this is what it is.
Big facts.
Right?
Big facts.
And if I'm going to go into the EDM game, I'm going to call on the J7s or whoever that's
is the
in
one
that game to help me so I can win.
I respect it.
But the level of ignorance in the cities, it's phenomenal. We as a community, as the hip hop community, are so weak and pathetic, right? Because everybody's worrying about, well, can I get a little bucks here and there?
Yeah, it's the segregation.
To the point that they're walking over dollars to get the quarters.
I agree with you. Man. That was well said, man.
You understand?
I think what you're saying is it needs to be said.
It's going to be said because at the end of the day, some people will discredit it and say, well, Rickey D, man, hey, that's cool. Everybody's allowed to say what they
Nah, but the real ones know what time it is. So if Rickey says it, I mean, it's usually got the stamp. You know what I'm saying?
We just got to make sure that everybody gets a great opportunity to get
100%,
put on.
100%. I respect that.
You look at my boy Camaro.
Yeah.
Remember Camaro was here doing this thing?
Of course, salute to Camaro.
Right?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Where did he have to go?
He went to France.
That's what I'm saying, B. Look what happened. Now He's a VP of A&R at Def Jam France.
No doubt.
Act like you know.
And we salute him.
You understand?
Yeah,
but
100%.
do you think that Camaro would have stayed here, would have gotten that shine?
I don't think so. I don't think so. And that is a problem. You're right. You're right. Something to think about. Let me ask you. What's a dream booking that Rickey D didn't land? Like almost got it, would have loved to have, never got.
Oh man, that was the Wu-Tang Clan in the 90s.
Wow.
With ODB.
Shit.
That was one.
Is that something that you were working on that didn't work out?
Yeah, it just felt true. It was part of the movie or the soundtrack to the movie The Show.
Yes, that's 95.
Right.
Damn.
And we were working on getting them up here, but back then we were young. We didn't really understand the whole border game.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
It was one of those issues.
This was something, hey, we had nobody teaching us.
But that must be something that came up a lot, like through the years, like the border.
Absolutely. We had to learn it the hard way, right? Especially with hip hop, it was, it just seemed like everybody had a criminal record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was hard, and we just, didn't understand how to fill out papers. We didn't understand how to do a lot of that stuff. We were self-taught.
Yeah, no doubt.
But it took lumps.
Absolutely. Well, you see, speaking of things like that, you got to be in control of what you're doing as far as the business you're doing. And a lot of it is control, like knowing the times, the bookings, the prices, hotels, and managing the whole thing. But there must be some things that you can't control. What are the things that you can't control?
You can't control the border.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's a huge one. You know what I mean? The border is very, very critical. You can't control the weather.
Damn.
In the wintertime, you can have a snowstorm on the day of your show.
Eesh.
What do you do about that? I remember
does Rickey D wake up heartbroken when he sees it snowing outside?
Yo, man, I'm stressed, B. I'm stressed.
I feel you.
It's like, I think, I'm like, how many tickets we sell? Okay, we're okay.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, man, we need the door to work. Oh, man.
Damn.
There's going to be no door tonight.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, so.
It's part of the game, I
crazy.
guess.
Or, the last show I stressed out like that is when we were doing the Wu-Tang Clan at Olympia.
Yeah.
And there was a huge ice storm along the East Coast. And most of the guys were coming in to the West.
Okay.
So they missed, except for Method Man.
And he didn't make it, right?
He didn't make it. But
I think I was at that show.
Then the next day, he made it to Toronto.
Yeah, I remember. Yes. Okay, and it was because of the storm.
It was because of the storm.
Damn.
But that's a situation where
you can't really do anything about it.
What can you do? We were very lucky that the other guys were able to get in because they were coming from different parts of the country.
Wow, that's crazy.
They weren't coming from the New York,
See,
Virginia.
a lot of people don't even think of those kind of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the people are quick to blame the promoter.
It's unpredictable. It's unpredictable. You know what I mean? It's one business where you can get screwed over in a million ways.
Like speaking of this game, right? I'm sure show day or event day, you have a lot of new best friends and cousins that everybody wants a guest list or hook up.
All the time, man.
So my question to you, for the people coming up trying to do what you do, like how do you draw that line of like, nah, you're buying tickets and nah, you're on the guest list?
Well, you have to evaluate. You have to evaluate their worth. Is this an influencer? Can this person help you? Have they helped you?
Yeah.
To promote?
Because I'm sure the text must be out of control on those days.
Yeah, sometimes it is. I got guys sending me texts. Rickey D, hook me up. I'm like, yo, B. I don't care if you have an app. What's that app gonna do for me, bro? You know what I mean? Or I got guys who want to, come and do a review on the artist. And I'm like, bro.
What does that do for Rickey D events?
I'm not a record label.
Yeah, I feel you.
So him coming there and performing means nothing to me afterwards. Yeah, but it means everything to him. Yeah. Because now he could sell more records, build his brand up. Because even if he comes and does that and does an amazing show, amazing performance, doesn't mean he's going to cost the same the next time.
100%.
He's going to want more money.
So as far as like the guest list and ticket thing, you don't have any set standard rule. It's really case by case.
No, and it's also then it also has to do with management, has to do with the agent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you're only allowed a certain amount of tickets. Some agents are a lot more controlling on their artists
Okay.
that they represent. Some agents are very slack. They don't give a shit.
Okay.
The ones that do will like try to cap you off. They'll tell you, yo, you can only let in 50 people.
That's it.
It
That's
don't
all.
matter if it's your money.
Really? Wow.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so sometimes they have a say on those things. I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
I'll tell you a story this summer. A buddy of mine did he did Burna Boy.
Okay. Yeah, big artist.
And he sold them out, and he had 400 promo tickets.
Wow.
The agent told him very clearly, if you don't bring that down to 75 tickets, I'm taking that show away from you and I'm giving it to somebody else.
Wow.
So what are you gonna do now?
What is he doing that time?
Well, he went and he got those tickets and put them back online and sold them. Because at the end of the day, the agent knows, right, that even though his deal, because you have different deals in this business, you know, you have percentage deals, you have flat deals. If it's a percentage deal, then the artist gets a percentage of the back end, which is the profits. So, for example, and then there's flat deals. Flat deals is I pay you, say, $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I make it or not,
you're getting that 10K.
You're getting your 10K. It's guaranteed.
Uh-huh.
It's none of your business, sorta. Some agents still demand to know what you made.
Oh, really? And you have to give them that info?
You have to give them that info because now they record this, and the next time you come back and you want to get that same artist, they're going to say, no.
You made too much last time.
Right. Now he's 20,000. He's 30,000. He's 100,000.
Damn, that's a tough game, man.
Yeah, so so then you got to sit up there, evaluate the artist and see. And then you have percentage deals. Percentage deals, they might take less of a guarantee flat, but they want a percentage of the profits. So after you pay all your expenses plus give them their guarantee, they want a piece of that money.
So you're still doing business with them after the show and...
Well, yeah, because it's a different, there's different.
And most of the time, is it flat deals or is it more percentage or is it?
If you do festivals, it's mostly flat.
Okay.
It's flat because festival you have big costs. If you're doing like venues like Olympia, Belmont, Club Soda, these kind of places.
Splits.
Yeah, you can get into a split situation.
Interesting.
Where they get a percentage of whatever the profit is.
Okay.
Plus their expenses, plus their guarantee, right? Because it comes to a point, right, where now, is it the promoter who filled the room, or is it the artist?
Is it the artist? Yeah, that's crazy.
But you see, when they come with a flat deal, is because they're no longer confident that
of what they can bring in.
They can bring in, so they take the flat. When they think they can bring in more people.
They want that back end.
They want that back end.
Let me ask you, today in 2020, like, is the game changed completely from back in the days when you started, and especially with social media. So now, like, pretty much anybody with an Instagram account could send an email to a booking at Gmail, something.
The game has never changed here in Canada.
Well, my question was that, like, how does that affect your business?
You got to remember, right? In Canada, in America, as long as you got a bag of money and a phone number, you're in the game.
Well, exactly.
In Europe, in France, it's different. In France, you need a permit to do a concert.
Okay.
This is why you have showcases in nightclubs. That's a way of working around for the promoter who doesn't have the permit.
Okay.
Right? Because if you don't have a permit, you cannot go and book a Zenith. You cannot go and book Bercy. You cannot go and book any of those places because you need a permit.
So that's in Europe.
That's in Europe. Here, it's open,
Free for all.
free for all.
So does that hurt a Rickey
Absolutely.
D?
Well, it hurts anybody because, say, it's a bidding process, right? So, say somebody comes to me and they say, okay, that artist, he wants $10,000.
Yeah.
And then you come along, you don't have no idea, and they say to you, $20,000. But in your mind, you think 20,000 is a good deal. But
So
I
if
know I'm getting it for 10. But I don't know that you're getting that for that. Right?
Exactly.
Unless me and you are cool.
Yeah.
Then you tell me, and then we figure it out, right? So what ends up happening? You just bought it for 20.
Damn.
But maybe with that 20, you might lose 10.
Yeah, exactly.
10 was
Because
the right
it
number.
brings in a lot of people that might not have the experience or knowledge
So
you
there's
have.
a lot of fishes
Yeah.
that are getting filleted.
You might have seen a lot of fillets
Sure,
through the
man,
years.
I got filleted too, brother. Yo, I've been at the other end of the stick too, getting filleted.
Okay.
So it's not like, but I get it less.
Yeah, of course. With the experience, I'm
right?
guessing.
But
Yeah.
I still get it, bro.
Damn.
I had this dude this summer came to me and offered me Rowdy Rich
Yeah.
and Little TJ together.
Oh, okay.
Said to me, yo, man, I could get this for you, 25 racks. And I'm like, 25 racks? That's kind of cool. Oh, yeah. I sent them, and he said, well, I can get you 2 shows. I'll get you one in Montreal, I'll get you one in London, Ontario.
Okay.
So I sent this guy, right? He came to me before with another show. The show was straight, business was straight, it was cool.
Okay.
Right? So he came to me. I said, okay, I'm going to send you 25 racks, US.
It's a big chunk.
Big chunk, right?
Yeah.
Right. So now I'm waiting to go on sale, Can't go on sale. Why? Because this guy didn't have the show. But now he got my money.
Wow.
Right? He got my 25 racks
So,
now, right?
yeah.
So, I had to make a phone call in Toronto.
Damn.
Guys had to roll up.
Okay. It still goes down like that.
Yeah, it can.
Even for
it
an
can,
OG.
It can.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, like, he's like telling me, oh, I sent the money to the artist and all that. And I'm like, yo, dog, I know you ain't sent it to him because I got to the people.
Wow, it's unreal.
Right? And then he's like, and I said, listen, man, you better send me my fucking money.
So everything worked out properly.
Yeah, everything. He gave me my money back. And then Evenco ended up getting Roddy Rich, which I was supposed to be a part of.
Yeah, that's coming soon.
Yeah, sold out. TJ, I was supposed to be a part of that. Sold out. I ended up doing Lil Mosley and some other cats.
Yeah, Lil Mosey,
so,
yeah.
I mess with the youngins, and then I do my vintage stuff. Not as much as I used to. Now I'm getting more into doing more and more French.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I went down last year. No, not last year. The year before, I went to this show called Game Over.
Okay.
It was the biggest show of that nature at the Zenith.
Oh, okay.
In Paris.
Yeah.
Sold out. And you had the guys like Kobalade and you had Niska and
no doubt.
all these other cats.
I wouldn't expect, like if you would ask me, I wouldn't expect to see a Rickey D in one of those shows.
Absolutely, baby, because you know what? The beauty of hip hop is that it's international.
100%.
And money talks and bullshit walks.
No doubt.
And even the motherfuckers that think they can't speak it, bro, you should hear my French.
Yeah.
When the money's on
when the money's on the table,
I'm
you're fluent.
No, I ain't fluent. That shit is as choppy as fuck. and their shit is choppy too. I don't know. And I'm like, but you know what?
You guys come to an agreement though.
The business
done. Hell yeah.
The business gets done. Because you know what? Money's the international language.
100%. Everybody understands.
It's the international translator. You put that money on the table, motherfuckers will communicate.
They will definitely find a way. They'll find a way to make it work.
And it's like that down there. But you got to remember, in France, it's not the same Frenchman you have here.
No, it's different.
In France, they're very confident about their language and who they are and what they are. So they don't mind fucking getting with you and kicking it with you on that language. Here, it's not the same, dude.
Yeah, it gets political and complicated. Yeah, it's too much.
I don't want to talk to you like that. You need to talk to me like that. There, it's like, yo, can we chop it? Can we make some money?
Yeah, I feel you.
I'll try, you try, and we come together.
Let me ask you this. You you've seen, I'm sure, through the years, a lot of artists go from like being local or being openers to being worldwide stars. Is there any of them that you like, damn, I didn't expect this person would blow up so big?
All of them.
Really?
All of them.
Like, what's one of the names that you're like, damn, I can't believe this person made it so big? If there is.
Well, I didn't think that Loud was gonna do what Loud was gonna do.
Oh, okay.
I thought he had a great potential because, you know, he reminded me a lot of the Neck Fears and them, those white French rappers that all them little hipster chicks love and dig. You know what I'm saying? You can bring home the mama.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about.
There's a clean, somewhat clean.
You know what I mean? Is he into this? Is he into that? You know what I mean? Like, but I didn't see him getting that big.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive what they're doing.
But then I expected that because, you know, say a guy like an Enima, who, in my opinion, I still rate him as one of the dopest French MCs in the city.
No doubt.
I still see him as a power to be reckoned, but he just got himself caught up in all kinds of drama, you know?
Yeah.
He just couldn't get away from the drama. But if somebody could have pulled him and locked him in, had the strength to lock him in, I think he could have been where Loud is today.
But Ricky, the numbers are still there, though.
Bro, and I'm telling you, B, you know, he put himself in such a rut.
Yeah, it's a complicated
that
situation.
He can't, you know, how is he going to travel? How is he going to tour?
Yeah.
How's he going to get that paper? How's he going to bond with those kids? Yeah, it's cool through the internet. You know, you get those impressive numbers, millions and tens of millions of hits and views, but you still need to go out there and shake those hands and kiss those babies.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you can't get out there and bond directly with your fan,
yeah, there's nothing like the human contact.
I mean? You know what I'm saying? That consolidates it and also puts another level of revenue in your pocket. That because let's be
It's a big stream of revenue.
Let's be straight. YouTube and that ain't paying shit.
No,
Okay?
not like the
All
shows.
right?
It's not comparable.
Okay?
No.
But now if you get that record on the radio and now you're getting royalties from that, you get residuals. Now you're seeing some cheddar.
Yeah.
You know, he goes to France. France has they're basically number 1 or 2 in the world when it comes to publishing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He be killing it, B. Killing it.
Yeah.
And the beauty of him is that when he raps, he doesn't rap with that Joel and all of that shit.
No,
too.
exactly. He's got the proper French.
He's got the proper French.
Yeah.
And that's what France is waiting for. They're waiting for the guy to come from here who got that shit down.
Like kind of like with the American style, but with the proper French.
You dig?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was bringing that whole game, like how when Camaro first came, Camaro brought the Puff Daddy to France and showed that, you know, the Arab kids can get jiggy.
No doubt.
You understand?
No doubt.
And they could bling and they could, you know, show out. And then all them kids were watching going, fuck, I want to be just like him.
100%.
Let me go and pick up and start writing and buying them records and you see what I'm saying?
Spawn a wave, yeah.
Right, and that's what he did. And this guy would have been the next level of that because he got it. And I wish to God something that he would, you know, be able to work out his situation because he's truly a talented. But we all know in this business, here today,
gone tomorrow?
No, brother.
Oh, okay. You got me worried
gone today.
Oh, damn.
Bro,
not even. You're not even giving him till tomorrow.
Bro, you look at the game.
Yeah, it's changed. It's
Chance
changed.
the Rapper,
Mike.
supposed to come. Chance the Rapper, supposed to come to do a North American tour.
Yeah, he cooled off.
Cool off.
Yeah.
Bro, he had a meltdown.
It's crazy.
How do you go from being the number 1 hip hop artist in the world, selling out stadiums, where, bro, you can't even do 1,000 people in those rooms anymore?
Wow, that's crazy.
And that ain't even 2 years ago, B.
That's crazy.
That's
yeah,
what
it's
I'm
changed.
trying to tell you.
It's changed.
The game is evolving now. It's so fast. There's new artists coming out all the time, and then a few of them have staying power, like the Travis Scotts of the world.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, look at A$AP Ferg.
Oh, it's going quick now. It's microwave music. I feel like
it's there's no longevity because the music is too accessible. There's just too much of this music out there.
It's hard to digest all the music that's coming out.
Right, you know.
I mean, but yo, shout out to Anima still, you know what I'm saying? We hope everything works out, and we
He's
hope
gonna work out, you know. God bless him. He's a good guy.
No
he just
doubt.
Needs a solid. But there's other guys in there that are coming up that are filling the slots.
Yep.
That I think that got the crazy potential to make things happen. And there's guys I don't even know yet.
Oh, for sure. But there's a lot.
I'm not as plugged into the streets like I used to.
But man, you seem to be pretty plugged in from what I'm hearing right now.
I know a little bit, brother, but you know.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the craziest thing you've seen on an artist's rider?
Oh, Method Man asking for a pair of Air Force Ones white.
Okay, so he's asking for a brand new pair as soon as he gets
shoes. And then I went to his manager and I said, I'm not buying them, right?
Really?
He said, yeah, I just put that on there for the suckers. Motherfuckers go out there and buy him a pair of Air Force Ones.
Okay, so they tried. That's like a try.
No. You know how them guys are. They're all trying to take you.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's the streets.
But you see, a lot of people would not be like, yo, I'm not buying that pair of shoes.
They would have bought it.
Exactly.
Times 2.
Yeah. Here's some for your management.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Big ass suckers. Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not buying those. And anyway, yeah, he started laughing. He said, yeah, that's just in there for the suckers. And I said, okay, cool. We good then.
That's good. Let me ask you. So now, with the booming French scene that we just spoke about and stuff like that, is it something that you've been putting your hand into as far as booking local artists and stuff like that?
Well, you know, I started booking French rappers from the days of MC Sonar. I was the guy who brought him during jazz.
Yeah, but now I'm talking more specifically in
but
Quebec.
Now, you always have to remember is that the majority of the people here are French.
Uh-huh.
The majority of the French kids want to hear French music.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why local French rap has blown up the way that it has is because of the accessibility of the artists. A lot of French rappers from Europe are just too expensive.
Okay.
You know, you're dealing with the euro. When you're dealing with the euro, it's $1.50. So if it's 10,000 euros, it's 15,000 Canadian.
Absolutely.
Right? So you're going to make that $5,000 back before you can go forward.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting it dollar for dollar. So it's like, $10,000. So you start at you're
starting off like what, yeah.
You're already in the red 5.
Exactly.
So you got to make up all that ground and then go forward.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of times, a lot of the promoters didn't want to mess with the French rap because these guys were getting big money.
Okay.
They were getting big money in Europe. You know, how do you tell, a guy like a Soul King,
yeah,
to come to Canada when this guy's doing 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 people making soprano.
Mm-hmm.
Came here,
mm-hmm.
blessed us in Quebec, did 4 or 5 shows, I'm not too sure, right?
Yeah.
Now this guy is doing arenas.
Crazy.
How are you going to go to the guy and tell the guy, yo, I'll give you 40 racks? 40 racks? Yo, I'm getting 200, 300 in Europe,
okay,
in
but
euros, and being treated like a god.
But that's when maybe the local artists now, because there's a boom in the local scene with guys like Anima we're talking about and stuff like that. Do you dabble in that scene?
I do a bit.
Okay.
But then I don't, because the problem is, right, you got 2 types of French rappers here.
Okay. There is a separation.
You got the D.O.P's.
Okay.
Of the world. And I just used them as an example.
Yeah.
And then you got the Tizos of the world.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay? 2 different, both of them are rapping in French. Both of them have a clientele. One is more street.
Yep.
The other one is less street.
Uh-huh.
One has proper management. The other one has his buddy.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
Okay? The other one gets it. The other one don't.
Yeah. It's hard to deal sometimes.
So, because of that, they're the potential for them to go even bigger is limited.
I agree.
You know, Jordan was Jordan. If you know, back in his early days, it was just Jordan. It was just him putting up 35 points a game, doing his thing.
Yeah.
Jordan only became the legend when he got Rodman, when he got Pippen.
Yeah, when he was well surrounded.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he ended up building a team to surround his talent.
Absolutely.
These guys on the other side are lacking the proper team.
I agree with
These
you.
guys on this side got the team together. So for example, you'll take like Joyride Records or whatever, these guys.
Yeah, salute to Carlos.
Right? And these guys, they're getting government grants.
Yep.
They're building their fan bases.
Absolutely.
They're touring extensively.
Okay, yeah.
They're making things happen.
Yeah. Well, they got their business straight.
Right. They got their business straight. But that's the difference between winning and losing. Because at the end of the day, both of them got the show.
Yeah.
They both got the show. These guys can pull crowds too.
Absolutely.
These guys can pull crowds too. But what's the difference?
But a Rickey D is going to deal with whoever's got proper management and better surrounding.
That's it, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to come into an agreement. Then you say, yo, man, I want more money.
Yeah.
What do you mean you want more money?
We agreed on something.
We agreed on something. We have a deal even in writing. Where these other guys that got proper management will hold their artists into position.
They respect the contract.
Right. And they'll make sure that the artist respects it too. Because there's a lot more influence. But on the other side, there's not. But in terms of these guys coming up,
yeah, as far as talent, doesn't take away from the talent.
the French scene, there's a lot of kids that are coming up. A lot of them I don't even know yet.
Okay.
That are in the lane, just creeping up. But these are the next kids that are going to take over the market in the next couple of years.
No doubt, I believe that.
See, guys like ONZMTL,
yeah,
they're plugged into that shit.
100%.
They know all those little hood rats that are coming up into the sewers.
100%.
They know them because that's their business to know them. Yeah, they know the Louds, they know all these other guys. They know
but we also got to know the ones that are on the come up.
They know, but they know the ones on the come up, on the serious come up.
Absolutely.
That are getting positioned because they're watching them. Because that's what they're into.
Yeah, that's the game. That's the game we're in. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And that's exactly what's going on right now.
I think that's a perfect evaluation of where it is. Because yes, we do see a lot of big numbers, but sometimes I do notice that the management side or like the organization, the team behind it is not totally there yet. You know what I mean? So I agree with you.
They either want too much or they want too less. They either don't deliver or they do deliver.
Yeah, I get it.
Right? And that's part of it. But it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. It's beautiful to watch.
Because at least they have that opportunity.
Something is happening, yeah. I mean, you come from the time where people didn't have that chance. Even me, when I was coming up, it was nothing like it is now. So it's cool to see. It's cool to see. Let me ask you one last question before we out of here. What's the main difference that you notice in the audiences from back in the days? Let's say we're talking like the Run DMC shows and the Big Daddy Kane shows to today, the shows you're doing at Olympia.
Well, the crowds evolved, right? It's more of a francophone-based show where back then there was a huge Anglophone population. A lot of the French kids that were into hip-hop had to come over onto the west side of the city in order to get their fillings.
It shifted today.
Right? And it's shifted to the point that now you don't need to have that anymore.
Okay.
That's one of the main differences between yesterday and today.
So
that's what I see.
You feel it's more united, or more, everybody's mixed together.
Well,
or it's more towards the French.
No, it's more. Justice is a scale, right? And it's not always balanced. So I'll give you an example. Back in the early days, it was lopsided. You had the English.
Yeah.
They dominated the scene. They controlled the market. They controlled the narrative.
No doubt.
Right? Slowly, it started coming up. And the other side started going down, right?
Yeah.
So then the French started to come up,
Yeah.
and the English started to drop.
Interesting.
You see what I'm saying?
It cycles. It
And
goes in
right?
cycles, I guess.
So now, what's happening now? French rap is dominating the scene. English rap is not.
Okay.
Okay, and the reason for that is because you have more of a francophone population than you did back then.
Yeah.
The francophone population back then, even if they were young, they were more adept to English than they are now.
Shouldn't it go the other way around though?
No, because it's all based on politics.
Yeah, then it becomes a
government,
political
you know
thing
what I
out
mean?
here.
Like,
This is what makes it complicated in Quebec. So complicated but special at the same time.
Right. Remember, you got to remember, right, back then, now, when you get a lot of the immigrants, the new immigrants that are coming into Canada,
Yeah.
especially in Quebec,
Yeah.
they're not going to English schools.
No, they're all going to
So
French
what
school.
they learn, right.
Yeah, exactly.
So they learn the French,
I think
right?
that's what it is. That's why today it's so big, because the influx of immigrants that came in, let's say in the late 90s, they all
Right.
grew up now.
They all grew
Now
up.
they're
they all
rappers and they're-
they all grew up learning French.
Yeah.
Where if it was up to their parents,
Then it
their
might have been
parents would have
different.
put them in English, taught them
Yeah.
French at home, and that would have been it. And now if they want to go into the rest of Canada or North America, they would have no problems.
I agree.
They'd be able to adapt and assimilate and get what they need to get those jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But here now, what happens here is they lock you into one language that it kind of makes you a hostage.
It
And
limits
if you're-
you.
Yeah, if you're not skilled at it, right? And then they only do that to the poor immigrant. They don't do that to the rich immigrant, because the rich immigrant tell you, "Fuck you, I'm gonna take my kid, bring him to private school."
Straight up.
And like Trudeau and all these guys, right? Anyway,
Tell
you
the
know.
people, man, what's next for Rickey D events? What's coming
Well,
up?
it's my, like I said, it's my 35th year of doing hip hop. 2020, so I'm going to be trying to do a series of shows and
No
events.
doubt. Like to commemorate
celebrate.
Yeah,
I decided that, this was the year that I was going to do it and, get it off my back. I've never done anything even remotely like that before.
Yeah.
So
We'd
we're
like to be there, man, to celebrate that with you, man.
Thank you, so do my thing there. Also, be a police watchdog for hip hop.
For the culture.
Right, for the culture, and to make sure that the metros and these kind of cats and the Venkos and all of these guys do right by me.
I respect that.
And by my people.
I respect that.
You understand? And just make sure that, okay, this might be your town.
Mm-hmm.
This might be your province. But that music ain't yours. So don't be arrogant and think you're just going to come and take a piece of bread off my table and not even leave me a crumb or thank me for taking that piece.
Wow.
Because I'm going to hit you on your hand and say, hey, put that back.
No doubt. What
Even
we
though
need.
I might not be able to make you take it back. You understand?
Still, but we still need those guys like you two.
We need that because, by me doing that, like last year, I had a problem with them because I saw them as culture vultures. I saw them as people who were misappropriating the culture.
You're talking about Metro?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I called them out. And I called out Oliver Primo. And I said, y'all are that because you guys are phony.
And you were doing that on social media?
Yeah, I did that on the page. And then
Okay.
I sent him a thing, and he's like, well, why are you saying that? And I'm saying, well, this is why I'm saying that. And don't tell me because your friend is black. I don't care about
The
all that
classic.
shit.
That's the
You know what I
classic
mean?
one.
You know what I mean?
Well, how did that interaction end?
Well, it ended with him just going silent.
Damn.
He just went silent because he understands you cannot win in that situation.
Yeah, but in my head, I'm thinking it's not about winning, but maybe associate yourself with the ones who've been putting it down for all these years.
Because there's a certain level of arrogance in this province that people feel that they can just take whatever they want to take from whoever.
It's not
You
right, man.
understand?
But I respect the fact that you're fighting that fight, man.
Well, yeah, it's not even a fight. It's like David and Goliath. I can't sit up there.
No, but at least you're putting your word out there. Your word means something. You know what I'm saying?
I put my word out there because even if you don't want to deal right by me, you might turn around now and think and put Jay on. You might put this guy on. You might put these other guys on. Why you think all those French rappers from Montreal got on last year? They didn't want that. They just wanted to make this into an English, bring in the big American acts and roll with it.
Well, yeah, because at the beginning they had not announced. They had not announced the local guys.
But when I said to them, y'all are culture vultures, you're misappropriating, you're not bringing in the local people, you're not giving them a taste of the action, all right, and giving them an opportunity to shine on that stage.
That's dope that you said that.
Whether you're at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or you at 10 o'clock at night, right, you got to give them a shine.
Facts.
Because you guys are in a position to do it. There's another thing, if you're broke and you ain't got no money and now you need to put somebody on and you ain't got it, then the person has to understand, hey, if you want to get put on.
No, but you got to give back. You got to give back.
But when you're sitting up there and you got the Videotrons and you got all these others, people who will never mess with a Rickey D in the world.
That's crazy.
Right? Wouldn't even look at me. And now you guys are able to go and grab these people and bring them in there, and you don't want to break off the gods anything. You're wrong. You're not supposed to do that. Because in America, when you put your investment, you put your sweat equity into the music, they turn around, they make you a VP, they make you a director.
Yeah, they pay you back. Sweat equity, that's a good word.
Right. They put you in there, and they say, Jay, let me take you and let me give you some guap. Because you know why? Because you put your name in the game.
No doubt.
And you made the things work out. And because of you, God, we have a chance for all of us to eat. But when you don't do that, then it becomes a piranha situation. Us against them.
Which it shouldn't be.
Now they'll take it as, oh, well, you know, he's hating, he's this, he's that. Me, I don't hate because I keep doing what I got to do. But if I don't say that, then you know what? Shame on me for me being a hypocrite, right? And I'm not going to let them push me in my face.
I respect that, man. Big time.
I'm old school. You know
Big
what
time.
I mean? I fucking dropped the gloves. I already did that a couple of years ago at a show I did with YG.
Oh, for real?
And I had an opening act call me out. And we
Oh,
went
for
right
real?
outside. And we started scrapping right in front of the fucking
Come on,
place.
man.
I'm dead serious. Over at the old arena. Remember Arena?
Yes.
On Atwater?
Yes,
Yeah, man.
yes.
Yeah, YG show I did down there. And the guy was fucking around, came late, came this. And I said, yo, you're not pro, babe. You're supposed to come in there, do your sound check, come in there, do your thing. On top of that, you didn't sell no tickets. You turned around and then you're looking at me, calling me out. So fuck you, let's go.
So is it safe to say that Rickey D still got them hands?
No, man, that was a little while ago. I don't want to be there no more. I'm beyond all of that. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the passion for the music is there.
No doubt. Well, that's why you're still here, and that's why we have you here, man. You know what I'm saying? Respect for everything you put down through the years, and respect for everything, the gems you dropped today, man. It's really needed for the culture, and we're going to do our best to spread it out to the masses,
You have
man.
to, you know, you got to understand, right? We are the small guy. But the small guy can win too.
The small guy is the guy most of the time.
You dig?
No doubt.
He can win too.
No doubt,
she
man.
She can win too.
Salute.
So you can't let guys like that come in now because they did that. They put on the Lost and all these other guys on the bill.
Yeah.
That helped build their platform. But if I didn't say nothing, none of these guys would. But because I said that, it forced them
Absolutely.
to recognize. No, they might not talk to me. They might never talk to me. I might never go to one of their events. I don't care. You understand?
As long as you say what needs to be said.
As long as my people are able to eat.
No doubt.
That's all that matters.
No doubt.
Because I've eaten. Let them eat now.
No doubt.
Don't go take that away from them, the one little thing they got.
I don't think we can end the interview in a better way. From your people to you, Rickey D, thank you very much, man, for all your contributions. Much love, respect for coming through. It's your boy J7, ONZMTL. This was the Sit Down. You dig?